I'm Mike Baldwin with the Oklahoman. I cover Oklahoma State football. One could argue this is the most interesting spring football Oklahoma State's had in several years, definitely in the Mike Gundy era. Why? Because there's so many new players on campus, and this is an opportunity for coaches to see them through 15 practices, culminated by the spring game on April 12th. How much immediate help can Oklahoma State get from 6 defensive newcomers participating in their first spring practice, most of them being part of the JUCO invasion? That's going to be the number one storyline, not only all spring, but during two-a-days and throughout the football season. Oklahoma State's defense has struggled a lot in recent years. How much people like defensive tackle Swanson Miller, safety Lucian Antoine, a new freshman on campus, Markel Martin, in addition to some of the younger players like Derek Burton, Rashedi Jones. Those will all be interesting storylines that will be project number one for Tim Beckman in year 2 of his defensive coordinator job under Mike Gundy. Who will back up Zach Robinson at quarterback? That will be one of the key questions in spring as well. Zach Robinson set a school record for most total offense in one season. When he did that, though, he carried the ball an average of 14 times a game Oklahoma State's last 7 games. As a result, he's more prone to injury. Alex Cate, Brandon Whedon will fight for the backup job this spring. Coaches are hopeful by the end of spring one of those guys is assumed the backup job heading into two-a-days. That should be one of the more interesting competitions. How will the secondary shake out? That's a competition that may last not only through the spring, not only through the fall, maybe throughout the entire season. There's as many as 8 different players trying to either get a starting job or a backup job to help upgrade the defense. How the secondary will shake out is one of the key questions this spring as well. You can even move over to the offensive side. There are going to be changes on the offensive line, even though 4 offensive line starters return. Andrew Mitchell, a junior college player, is coming in fighting Brady Bond. David Washington is going to come back from a broken leg midway through spring drills. There will be a lot of changes there. They have young wide receivers throughout the roster. A lot of those guys will be trying to make a name for themselves. At last but not least, 3 new assistants on Gundy's staff can get acclimated this spring. They get a chance not only to learn the system, not only to learn the play calling, they get used to their new players. All in all, by the time they play the April 12th spring game, Oklahoma State coaches are hoping to have a lot of answers to these questions, and as they play out over the next few weeks, we will be covering them in the Oklahoman.